contract status of Malakai Black seemingly has been a topic of discussion at least 3 or 4 times within a single calendar year for the last couple of years. AEW has failed Malakai Black. Tony Khan has failed Malakai Black. And it was after Dynamite last night where we finally got a true update on Malakai Black's whereabouts. He may be on his way out of AEW. I got the latest right here on Off the Script. Also, major updates on the returns of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Alexa Bliss. And The Rock shows up on NXT, and BLASTS fans who were very critical of him drinking tequila buddy with Cody Rhodes on the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. All this and so much more right here for your Thursday, January 9th on Off the Script. We'll start with Monday Night Raw. There was a vicious rumor going around on Wednesday afternoon that the Netflix numbers for Monday Night Raw's debut were in the 600,000 or so range. Now, this was obviously false, and the AEW sickos are trying to cope with the fact that their own promotion is nothing more than a dying brand, and that WWE is as hot as they've ever been. Well, we got the latest on the numbers for the debut episode of Monday Night Raw, and they were unbelievable. Raw wrestles up to 4.9 million global views for Netflix and the debut of Monday Night Raw. Now, this is obviously a WWE-issued statement, so if it sounds a little not human, it's that reason and that reason only. WWE released this statement, and it says, and I quote, "Today, TKO announced that the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix got off to a strong start, with Monday night's program capturing 4.9 million live viewers globally on Monday night. The inaugural event on Netflix averaged 2.6 million households within the United States, according to Video Amp, which is 116% higher than Raw's average in 2024 within the United States of 1.2 million households, and higher than any Monday Night Raw broadcast in the past 5 years. The event also saw more than doubled in the 18 to 49 demographic versus last year. On X, as soon as the event started, WWE Raw was the number one trending topic in the United States, Brazil, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Some other statistics that WWE conveniently let you know this afternoon. Raw trended number 1 for 14 straight hours in the United Kingdom and occupied 6 of the top 7 trending topics in the United States. Hashtag Raw on Netflix and hashtag WWE on Netflix also trended in Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Spain, and in the United States. In January, as you guys know, WWE struck a deal with Netflix for this landmark deal. And the debut episode saw Logan Paul, Travis Scott, John Cena, The Undertaker, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Liv Morgan, Seth freaking Rollins, CM Punk, and Rhea Ripley all on the show. And WWE conveniently added that this does not include viewing in 92 countries/territories where Netflix doesn't yet distribute WWE, such as France, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, the Philippines, and South Korea. So this number over time is going to be a lot bigger than normal. They're not going to do 4.9 million viewers globally every single week. This was just for the debut episode. Next week, it'll probably be half of that, which is still much higher than the 1.4, 1.5 they were doing on Monday night. And it will be higher by default because by the time we get into the Royal Rumble events in Indianapolis, there will be no more football season. We're already in the playoffs, and Monday Night Football will not be a thing until at least September. So WWE does not have that to worry about. This is a huge success, and seemingly everybody that is involved in the business is very happy with this. And 4.9 on the night of. This does not even include people who did not watch and could go back and watch at any time at their leisure. That's what Netflix is for. So this number, obviously for the week until we get into next week, is going to be higher than what was originally reported today. This is seen as a success. So I knew WWE at some point was going to release these numbers. They love to brag about it. They love to just stroke their own ego. So I was not surprised to hear that. The funny thing is, we did not hear a single peep from AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery on what the numbers were for AEW simulcasting, the mother of all simulcasts. We didn't hear a single fucking peep. Dead silence on what the rating was for AEW on TBS and what they did streaming on Max. And the funny thing is, they're not going to release those numbers because those numbers are not going to paint AEW in a positive light whatsoever. And I probably would say that they did not even break 650, possibly 700,000 viewers between both platforms. I don't even see promotion for AEW on Max via social media. I mean, I heard from every outlet. I heard from every publication. I heard 17 times an episode on Monday Night Raw since October where Raw was going and what day they were going to debut on Netflix. WWE is the marketing machine that they are. AEW can't be bothered. Warner Brothers Discovery can't be bothered to promote their new shiny product on Max with AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision. Great numbers. Not going to be that way going into next week. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if WWE does release the numbers weekly, knowing that they will be down more than likely in the following weeks. So I will keep you guys posted on that. But inaugurally, the debut episode on January 6th was a complete success, no matter what you thought of it, for WWE. Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair. All three women are returning, and the women's division should get an immense boost going into the Royal Rumble. During the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio via Patreon, it was noted that both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair have been placed on WWE's internal active roster list after being taken off due to their absences. WrestleVote says we're told both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair's names now officially appear on the current internal active roster once again. As of early this week, we can say that Becky Lynch is set to return to Monday Night Raw. She was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw. I believe the rumor was on January 6th, but WWE decided late in the process there that they did not even bring her in, and she did not factor into anything. Case being because they didn't want Becky Lynch's return to be overshadowed by everything else that happened on Monday night. So the more we get into normalizing Monday on Netflix, you'll start to see things roll out. WWE didn't want to give you everything in one shot. Becky Lynch, I'm assuming, will show up either this coming week or the following week. Absolutely, she will be back regularly on TV by the Royal Rumble. Same thing with Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch has been off TV since leaving the promotion last May, and Charlotte Flair has been sidelined with a torn ACL, MCL, and a torn meniscus. Devastating injury for Charlotte. That happened in December of 2023 in a match against Asuka, and her timetable is also around Royal Rumble time. Alexa Bliss, she's coming back to the company. Her return is on the horizon, and creative plans are underway. WrestleVotes is also reporting in regards to Alexa Bliss that it's on the horizon. WWE is starting work on her future creative plans, including merchandise and promotional materials already in development. WrestleVotes says the highly anticipated return of Alexa Bliss is on the horizon, according to a well-placed source. Creative is reportedly working her into future plans with merchandise and promotional materials already in development. As of this writing, it's still unclear when she will return, although the Royal Rumble is probably the best and most safest bet for Miss Bliss to return to WWE. I'm assuming all three women will get their feet wet in the Royal Rumble. I would not even bring Becky Lynch back until the Royal Rumble. Same thing with Charlotte, and same thing for Alexa. Just save their returns for the Royal Rumble. Now, Charlotte and Becky, I think us fans, we've speculated and we've talked about it, that we know where the direction is going into WrestleMania. I think the prediction from many that do what I do is Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that would be a great way to get Lyra over on the main roster. And then Charlotte, her name has been attached to Tiffany Stratton. Don't know how that's going to work. Don't know what that means for Tiffany's title run, if it's going to be a short, abbreviated one, only to give Charlotte Flair what would be number 15, 16? I've lost count, and none of them really matter to me anyway. Only with Tiffany building up that babyface run against heel Charlotte, and then Tiffany gets the torch passed to her via Charlotte Flair sometime in the spring or the summer months. That's the rumor right now, according to social media. Tiffany versus Charlotte and Becky versus Lyra at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss is a little bit more of a question mark. I don't know where they place Alexa Bliss. I don't know what brand she goes to. I would assume wherever the Wyatt Six are. I think Alexa will occupy that brand. She may be involved to tie up some loose ends there, as she was an integral part of the Wyatt universe. I don't know if people still want to see that. I don't know if Bo wants that for her. I don't know if she wants to be a part of that. Maybe with them being off TV and not having any real direction, that they may be waiting for Alexa Bliss to get back to kind of usher that in going into WrestleMania season. I don't really know. So her return is a little bit more of a question mark. And to me, honestly, it's of the three that is least interesting. I'm not a big Alexa Bliss fan. I think this is pretty well documented. I don't really get excited for her coming back to television, but I do see the value that she does bring a division. The division is going to be much stronger with her in it. I think at the end of the day, with her coming back, she needs to go back to what she did best, and that is playing a heel. She did that very well. So I would do that, bring her back, and have her do what she does best, and have her potentially placed in that mid-card championship. I would have her go after the Intercontinental Championship. She's done everything with that Women's Championship, and I don't really want to see her and Rhea or her and Io. I think her mixing it up in the middle of the card there for the Intercontinental Championship could be something new, fresh, and exciting for Alexa Bliss as far as creative plans are concerned. The Rock, he was on NXT Tuesday night. And it was announced on Monday that he would be on Tuesday. Now, he had a backstage interview, or backstage segment, rather, with Ethan Page and his daughter, Ava Raine, who is the GM of NXT. He cautioned Page about the repercussions of his past behavior while acknowledging Ava's authority within the NXT brand. This is the first time that Rock and Ava appeared together in a WWE segment. They actually sat together at the Golden Globes on Sunday night. This past weekend. The Rock's appearance on NXT follows his return on Monday Night Raw, where he praised Cody Rhodes and celebrated with Roman Reigns after his victory in Tribal Combat, where Reigns took control of the Ula Fala once again. Rock said on NXT that he's 20 steps ahead and hinted at more to come when he stated that he's got a plan, and basically for the fans to know their role, shut their mouth, and enjoy the ride The Rock is going to take you on. Basically mirroring exactly what he said last year on the road to WrestleMania. His exact quote when he addressed the backlash to him being buddy-buddy with Cody Rhodes. I was one of those very vocal on social media. The Rock is the final boss, thinking 20 steps ahead, so the best thing for them to do is know their role, shut their mouths, and enjoy the ride that The Rock is going to take them on. Sure, I enjoy a good journey. I do. I would love a little unpredictability. I want a little excitement. I don't want it to be too predictable. I don't want to know where we're going. I want to travel alongside The Rock, and I want to travel into the unknown. I love it. I love it. But everybody's problem, and they have every right to have a problem and be upset about it. Because I think all of us want the same thing. We want the unpredictability. We want to be taken on a ride during WrestleMania season, on the road to WrestleMania, and we want to hang on to basically everything that they do. The problem that everybody had, and this is not that difficult to figure out, is we saw The Rock twice before Monday night. First time is Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 40. Where he shook Cody Rhodes' hand, eyed the title, desired the title, almost lusting after the title. He even asked Cody Rhodes to hold the championship while he gave Cody Rhodes the People's Championship. He lusted over the title. And then he gave the title back to Cody Rhodes in this very almost psychotic-like way, this psychotic-like demeanor, right? Jealous of Cody that he has the world championship. I'm almost basically saying, without saying, I want this title. And then he handed Cody Rhodes whatever he handed him on that Monday, and told him, don't go and break my heart again. And he walked away. The next time we saw The Rock after that was at Bad Blood, after Cody Rhodes teamed with Roman Reigns against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. An appearance, looking back at it, that didn't even really need to happen because all it did was get fans talking, and for all the wrong reasons because nothing really materialized out of that. He showed up. He made an appearance on screen. 1, 2, 3, holds the fingers in the air, raises his eyebrow, and does a throat slash, and then walks away. Nothing else was ever said about the moment. So you have 2 storyline appearances, and then you show up a third time after you already announced to the world that you were showing up via Instagram, that you'll be at Monday Night's Raw on Netflix. We see the final boss. He comes out in the Versace vest. He's got the People's Championship with him. He comes out to the final boss theme. He is the final boss. He gets in the ring, and then we see corporate Dwayne. We see shareholder Dwayne. We hear from board of directors Dwayne Johnson. And he's praising Cody Rhodes for the last 365 days. Thank you for putting the company on your back and doing what you've done with the WWE Championship. He's smooching it up with his executive billionaire friends. He's got Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro and Nick Khan in the front row. He's got all the Netflix executives in a fucking skybox that if I wanted to pay for a skybox for me and my family, I'll be in the fucking the poorhouse. And he's just gloating about all these great things that the company's got going on. And he acknowledged Roman Reigns as the original tribal chief, and he's going to keep a close eye on this match. And then that was it. And then after that match was over, he goes backstage and he's live streaming via Instagram. He's laughing it up, drinking tequila with Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. He gets into his fucking vehicle and he drives away, screeches, comes to a complete stop on the brakes. I'll see you guys in NXT, and then drives away. You got to be mental. If you expect the fans to not be asking questions, could The Rock be playing Cody Rhodes? Sure. Could The Rock be luring Cody Rhodes in with a false sense of security? Great, if that's the case. But we're right back in the same situation that we were in last year, which is why people are upset. Some people don't see it. Us who have already been through this and made videos and documented this month after month, week over week, during WrestleMania season from January to April. Cody looks like a fucking geek. Why on any planet, after the last time we saw The Rock, 1, 2, 3, and a throat slash directly aimed at him, why would Cody all of a sudden lower his guard and be buddy-buddy with The Rock, believe anything that The Rock says, trust anything that The Rock is doing? This is why people were upset. This is why people started to ask questions. People asking questions is a good thing. That means people are that invested to ask the hard-hitting, serious questions. Why? Now, I don't expect them to give away anything in one shot. I expect them to little drip here, little drip there, little breadcrumb here, breadcrumb there. Great. They weren't going to do anything on this show to really give you an idea, an indication of where they're going for WrestleMania. But give me something. They already came out and said that this was going to be the official start to the road of WrestleMania, which they lied. We didn't get any WrestleMania implications coming out of this show. It was one big infomercial for Raw on Netflix. Now we'll worry about next week and see what they do next week. But we're all under the impression that they lied. We got this nonsense with The Rock. Cody looks like a fucking geek. They treated their WWE champion like a fucking pushover. I don't know why Cody is letting his guard down against this guy. This is the same guy that left him bloodied in the fucking pouring rain outside of his tour bus while he spread his blood on a weight belt and he mentioned Mama Rhodes. Look at your son now. Off is in the direction you can fuck, is what he said. This is the guy. This is the guy. All because you're buddy-buddy with Roman Reigns now doesn't mean you're buddy-buddy with The Rock. It doesn't make any logical sense. So yes, people can ask questions. So I'm glad people are asking questions, but The Rock is only backtracking and The Rock is doing what he's got to do to fan the flames. He knows he fucked up. But The Rock is going to do what The Rock wants to do. He's not going to be able to get away with what he got away with last year. Simple as that. Now, the only way, and Monster and I talked about this on Tuesday night, the only way that this could possibly lead to something that works brilliantly is The Rock is leading him into a false sense of security. And we talked about John Cena and the fact that he's the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble this year. I don't like John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. I don't. John Cena winning the Royal Rumble is too predictable. John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, whoever else you want to put in there as a possible final four for the Royal Rumble, comes down to Rock and Cena, or comes down to Cena rather than Punk. Cena gets the Royal Rumble victory, but along the way, you know how everybody comes in every 90 seconds and the buzzer goes off in the anticipation of who comes out next? There'll be one number in between 1 and number 30 that doesn't come out. Now, Jason said, you know what? Have him come out at number 31 and troll everybody and say, all right, here's Dwayne. He's going to get what he wants, and then he's going to eliminate John Cena and have The Rock win the Royal Rumble, which is a great idea. But instead of adding 31 on top of 30, which I guess would be pushing the boundaries of his power, which would be, you know, a little laughable, honestly. Let's have someone not come out so that we keep it within the 30, and then The Rock ends up taking the final one after 30 comes out. So there'd be one more guy. It would equal 30. He comes out. It's Rock and John Cena after John Cena thinks he won the Royal Rumble, and The Rock eliminates John Cena to win the Royal Rumble and then get Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 in Las Vegas. That's what I would love to see play out. Now, I don't know how likely that is, but if they end up doing that, that's going to be one hell of a talking point for all us content creators the following week. So I do think that they're up to something. I don't know exactly what it is, but you don't need to come out on live television and blast fans for asking a very important, very specific question. Where's the why in everything that's happening? You can't use the excuse of, oh, just enjoy the ride. Motherfucker, we saw you on 2 different instances that you did not like Cody Rhodes or that your actions were aimed at Cody Rhodes. Now you want us to just enjoy the fucking ride after asking, you know, us to invest in what you gave us last year? Only for it to be wiped away? No, man, that doesn't work that way. We're going to ask the questions, and we're going to continue to ask the questions, and we're not going to let WWE get away with what they did last year, or in this case, The Rock get away with what he got away with last year. Malakai Black. Malakai is finishing up, reportedly, with AEW. Now, normally when this type of news comes out, Malakai is quick to post something very quickly on social media. He's almost on social media the day of a news article like this comes out. He's on Instagram. I don't believe I got to go through with this again. I appreciate your guys' support. I'm not going anywhere. I am where I am right now. And all of these news reports are falsified and the dirt sheets. And if it doesn't come out of my mouth, don't believe a fucking thing that you read or that you heard. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything as of this recording. He has not said a fucking thing. He hasn't posted on Twitter. He hasn't posted on Instagram, TikTok. He hasn't done shit. So I think this is as credible as we've gotten in regards to Malakai Black's AEW contract status. Now, Fightful is reporting that there were option years after 2024. Tony Khan had previously noted that he had Malakai Black under contract until 2027. To be clear, Fightful cannot say definitively that Black's contract is up or that an option has been declined, picked up, or anything transactional. Malakai is still even listed on AEW's official website, and he's booked a match for himself on January 11th on an independent CCW show. Now, on this week's Dynamite, Will Ospreay defeated Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews, and encouraged him to step out of the shadow of Malakai Black. This led to much inquiry regarding Malakai Black's status on AEW television. Those that we spoke to in the company were of the belief that he is indeed finishing up with AEW if he hasn't already. They did not clarify if he'd be appearing on TV again. All I will say is that finally, he can move on with his life. You know, Malachi came in with some fucking awesome vignettes. He showed up on TV. They put him in an immediate program with Cody Rhodes. He beat Cody Rhodes, I believe, twice on AEW television. The first debut in Miami, which was great. Just shows up out of nowhere if the lights go out. Lights come back on. He's giving Cody Rhodes a black mass. Everybody's excited. You, me, and everybody else that does what we do automatically said they have the makings of a future world heavyweight champion. After all of that went away, after all of that appeal went away, Malachi, he kind of languished a little bit. There was an injury scare there where he had a severe back injury, and he got that taken care of. He fixed that. But people started to ask questions. He comes back, doesn't wrestle a singles match in almost a year and a half, probably longer than that. They got him doing trios matches, tag team matches. There's just all of these things being said about Malachi. Does he not want to lose? Does he not want to put people over? Does he still wrestle injured? And the fact that he's not wrestling singles matches, is it something that he's hiding from everybody? I mean, you name it. There was a fucking conspiracy theory in regards to Malachi Black and why he didn't wrestle singles matches. He had to come out and say, it's not up to me. It's not up to me. I am 100% fine. I've been open and honest with you guys about my back injury. I am 100% healthy. I am in a good place. I am not booking the show. It is not up to me. Don't ask me why. I am not doing what you guys expected me to do. Don't ask me why I haven't wrestled singles matches. It's not up to me. So who the fuck is it up to? It's up to Tony Khan. We don't know why Tony Khan does what he does on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis. We don't fucking know. The man's a mental case. He's a basket case. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking about on any given fucking hour. But the fact of the matter is, Malachi has started at the top with his debut and then only went down from there. I can't tell you what he's done in between. The only other thing that I could really think of that he's done of note was the barbed wire steel cage match with Edge, with Adam Copeland, where Adam Copeland jumped off the cage and broke his leg. That was a great match. I thought that feud, for what it was decent. It was a page out of Edge and Judgment Day, but I liked what they did there with Copeland and Malachi. It was probably one of the more interesting things at that current stage on television of AEW. This is something that needed to happen. AEW will be better off without Malachi, and Malachi will be better off without AEW. They didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit. I mean, it was implied very early on, years ago when these rumors first started, that he probably wanted to go back to WWE, seeing that Triple H is taking over the creative process. You don't think Tony Khan has 8 fucking burners on social media, and you don't think he knew exactly who wanted to go back when the news of Triple H taking over creative happened? You knew exactly who wanted to go back, who has their significant others over there. It's not that difficult to see. Did Tony really want to push Malachi? No. Did Tony bury Malachi purposely because he figured, why am I going to put effort into Malachi when we all know he's going to eventually end up back where he started anyway? That's the reason. Everybody's looking for a reason why Malachi wasn't pushed on AEW television. Everybody's looking for a reason why Malachi wasn't better off on AEW television. Look at the man in charge. He is a petulant child who will take it out on the talent, even though they proclaim that they are for pro wrestling and they're for the pro wrestlers. You say one thing out of line, you do one thing they don't agree with, you are in the doghouse, and the key is taken and thrown away, never to be seen again. They will punish you, and they will leave you asking questions of, what am I doing with my life? How do I get out of here? What did I do so wrong? All I want to do is wrestle. A lot of people take Tony's money because it's good money in the now. But money in the now, no matter how great it is not going to sustain happiness over a long-term career. You could sit there for 2-3 years, make your money, but in those 2 or 3 years, when you're not being used on television, in the way that Malachi believes these should be used, you're going to eventually speak up. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get sad, depressed, and it's going to start seeping into your mind mentally. And then you're going to just feel this mental anguish of where did I go wrong? What am I doing? How do I get out of this? Why is he treating me like this when I know the star that I am? WWE could absolutely use somebody like Alexa Black. They could. And Alexa Black's presentation on Black and Gold was immaculate. It was great. We all saw him as a world champion then. Then he got to the main roster and they kept him in a fucking broom closet for 8 months, not knowing what to do. And then they brought him back to television with these great cartoonish vignettes, only for him to go away. And then he got released. Then he showed up on AEW television, and we all looked at Tony to change the ways that Vince did him wrong. And what happened? Tony ended up being Vince reincarnated. This is something that needs to happen. Malachi is going to find a great spot on WWE television, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. Do I believe that this is the case? Finally, yes, I do. For the simple reason that Malachi hasn't posted anything yet on social media. Otherwise, he would have. And this is coming from Sap. And if Sap is saying it, I think we're led to believe that it's probably more towards being right than it is being wrong. Good for him. I want him to be happy, and it should be an eye-opening experience for anybody that's still sitting on that roster, that your day will come, and that Tony Khan, after all these years, has exposed himself as a pure bullshit artist. He's not for the pro wrestler. He's only for himself, and he treats everybody like a shiny new fucking toy in the beginning, and then when you are just slightly broken in the way he thinks, he puts you back in the toy chest, never to be seen again. And it sucks. And more people are starting to see that year over year, month over month, how this company operates, how he leads as a leader, as a boss. And Malachi, unfortunately, had to suffer for that. And I'm glad that he's finally, according to this report, hopefully able to be free from this fucking bullshit that is AEW and land back in a place with people who run business the way a business is supposed to run, who love and nurture characters who they find them on television could make them money. Tony doesn't know a single fucking thing about creating stars or making money or doing anything right, storyline driven wise, for his dying product. Malachi, at this stage of the game, has gotten out at the most perfect time. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. If you did enjoy today's video, let me know down below in the comment section. How do you feel about Malachi Black, especially after what he's gone through, landing back in WWE? We're excited to see that. Let me know in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. We are 300 subscribers away from 165,000 subscribers right here on YouTube. And please make sure you follow me on social media, all over social media, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo at JD from NY206. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you right back here live tomorrow night with Friday Night SmackDown on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.